Yo, what's up? The long-awaited Christmas sale is finally here, and this means not only do we get nice sales on all the premium stuff in the game, but we also get sales on gold, on premium account time, and on additional squad slots. So yeah, also some other fine things, and also the gambling boxes have returned. So let's talk about all of this. In order to keep this video short, since I will tell you about the premium stuff of every nation, I'm just going to advise you which squads are really good and worth buying. This will be between 5 to 10 squads for every nation. The rest I won't mention at all, otherwise this video would be 2 to 3 hours long. So we're gonna start with the general things that affect every nation. First and foremost, the premium account. For those who don't know, activating premium account in Enlisted means you get multiple very strong advantages for a very good price. Very good price means for just $20 for the whole year. Even less if you buy the gold with discount, which is how I'm gonna show you now later with a cool trick. So yeah, for less than $20 you will play Enlisted in its best version, which is absolutely worth it. Now what are the advantages? A, all of your research is doubled, which means also your silver income is doubled. Then you get 2 additional squad slots, which is absolutely worth it. And you also get some other nice small details. But these 2 advantages are insanely valuable. Insanely valuable. Not only are they going to make you, as you can see, I don't have premium here. Not only are they going to make you grind much faster, by the way, more than twice as fast, because every single upgrade node also gets activated faster. It makes you grind roughly 2.5 to 3 times as fast as normally. No, you can also have more fun by just having more squads available. You can choose from them. You won't have to pick between just one vehicle now. You can pick a plane and a tank. Or even better, you can pick between 2 different planes, since there are 2 different plane types in the game, and a tank, or just 3 tanks or whatever. Amazing, and it even helps you when you grind, when you have new squads that you need to level up. For example, this squad, completely new, will take me forever to level up. It's bad if you have to carry around a weak squad like this, especially in hard games. But if you have additional slots, you can just play the strong squads whenever you're under pressure and whip out the weak, small, new squads whenever you're already winning, just to get more experience in an easy way. So yeah, premium account is absolutely worth it. If you don't buy anything else, this is the one thing I would buy, and which was also for my first year playing the game, the only thing I ever bought. Then, since gold is on sale, getting the battle pass also worth it, since you will get 100 additional gold. So if you never bought the battle pass before, make sure you buy it once, because it means since it costs 900 gold and gives you back 1000 gold every single season, which is basically every month, you will get 100 gold plus. So buying battle pass once will give you, for the rest of your Enlisted life, every single season additional 100 gold. So yeah, this is amazing, very good buying decision, and also yeah, as valuable as a premium account, especially since you literally make profit in terms of gold plus all the other stuff that you unlock. This is the second thing. Third thing is squad slots. Usually they come with a minus 50% discount. This time only minus 30, which ain't good, but still worth it. Keep in mind, the smaller, like the earlier the number, the cheaper it is. And the higher the number, the more expensive it becomes. So the first additional slot only costs you 343, or like with discount, from 490. The next slot will cost something like 700 and so on, and goes up to 2000 for the last slot. You don't need to buy all the slots, but what I recommend is, yep, especially if you're playing planes, having 7 to 8 slots is really good. You don't need the additional last 2 slots, but buying the first few additional slots is really, really much worth it. It used to be the case that you can only buy additional squad slots if you have a premium account active. If that's still the case for you, all you can do is just buy 1 single day of premium account, and then you can circumvent this problem, because you will keep the slots you bought forever. Though you won't even need to do that, because it gets even better. Here comes the very spicy shopping hack. Here's the thing, if you want to buy 1000 gold now, it will cost you, even despite the discounts and sales, it will cost you $10 or 10 euros for 1000. Alright? That's a normal rate. But here's a trick. For every single nation, you can once exactly buy this starter pack. This starter pack gives you one weapon, a soldier, some random stuff, okay? But most importantly, it gives you 300 gold and 3 premium days. This means if you spend $10 or 10 euros, you will get 1200 gold. Yeah? And 12 premium days for free. So this is much better than buying just the gold, than buying just 1000 gold. Yeah? This is much better. And if you calculate the value for 10 days, yeah, it's almost like it's almost like 500. Yeah, the value is 1200 plus 5. You're basically getting 1700 gold back in value. So yeah, absolutely make sure you get this. If you buy anything else, this is the best way to get gold actually enlisted. And after you bought these, well, last question, are you gonna gamble, yes or no? Simple answer. If you want to see me suffering and have a fun time while doing so, watch my link below loot box video where I spent 3.5 million on loot boxes and suffered immensely. Yes. So are they worth it, yes or no? And the question for most importantly, are they worth for new players? Because new players often wonder, well, I can get those old squads that I missed out on. Here is the truth. The chance to get a squad is 1%. Meaning you need to buy 100 boxes to get the expected value of one squad. And you don't even know which one, because most of them suck. Only a few of them are really good. Actually, if you also apply the chance to get a good squad, for example, the American paratroopers, you will need to spend something like 1.5 million gold just to get one good squad. And 1.5 million silver. So basically buying 300 boxes. So yep, this is not worth it. Then what's the next good thing? There are a bunch of upgrade orders, okay, but not for this price. And there's a few vehicles. Yeah, some of them are good, most of them are not. Especially since they come from all different nations. And well, the actual other good thing besides squads are the weapons. But here's the next problem. Yes, there's something like the Stinger, which is the best weapon you can get here, because it's literally the best weapon in the game. Absolutely overpowered, unfair. But then there's also nonsense like, well, like Mosin sniper rifles. Nonsense like a highly over-tiered BR5 Luftfaust, which is maximum a BR2 weapon when it comes to power level. And most importantly, the weapon slot is filled with pistols, most of which are not even good. For example, revolvers are unplayable enlisted. And you get these hammers, which are allegedly cool and fancy, but they literally look boring. And they don't have any effects. They don't even give you something like a 5% speed boost for building. So absolutely useless. And then, yes, you get the cool swords, which are useful. But the Japanese sword, for example, is not worth it since it's literally like almost exactly like a normal sword. Yeah, so you basically have only air. You have maybe 2 or 3% of good stuff. The rest is air. And yeah, loot boxes simply are not worth it. What is the threshold of silver you should have in order to make it worth it? Here's my, after I went broke 2 months ago, here's my experience. Listen to Boomer ParaDivision, he can tell you out of experience. If you have 500,000, so 500,000 silver saved up, anything beyond that, I would possibly put into loot boxes, but don't expect good stuff. Just gamble for fun if you can afford it, but I would never go under 500,000 because you really need that much to be comfortable in a position to buy whatever you want, especially if you unlock new weapons, to equip soldiers to go for perfectly rolled max tier soldiers like like tier 4 assaulters and stuff like that, or very important tier 3 snipers, tier 3 attacker pilots, tier 3 tankers, tier 3 machine gunners, very strong. Yeah, something like that is very expensive, and you never want to be in a situation playing Enlisted that you have to care about silver. You want to be in the position that you never care about silver at all. If you play the game something like 1 to 2 hours per day and you play remotely well, after playing something like 2-3 months, you will inevitably get into a position that you have more than enough silver, more than you need, which is exactly what you want, which is something like 500,000 silver that you want as a nice saved up amount. So I would never go under 500,000. If you're beyond it, yeah, you can loot it away because you won't need the silver anyway, but anything under that is simply not worth it. And here's the question, should you buy just one box for fun? Yeah, here's the public service announcement. Since we're living in the current year, and the current year is full of drugged up children and stressed out people with all types of issues, it's actually not worth the risk for many people to start something that's gambling or that's addictive or causing stress. It's literally not a good idea. And for that reason, I have, I think, on my main account, this is obviously a second account where I can see all the premium items, because on my main account I cannot, since I have a few of them already. I have something like, I don't know, 400,000 silver there again. And yeah, I considered buying one box for fun. But here's the problem, if you buy one box for fun, if you get something good, you might buy another one. If you don't get anything good, you might think, oh, maybe a next one. Yeah, so you don't want to get into the downward spiral of gambling. So never do that. Here's the truth, these boxes in Enlisted are just very bad. They're very fucking bad, because these likelihoods are literally an insult to every player. This could be easily 5%. Then I would say, oh, good. If this was 5%, and if the weapons were 10%, I would recommend them. But they literally give you bullshit like soldier name signs, name changing orders or whatever, 12%. Fuck off, this is ridiculous. These are worthless, they're literally air. Also, other nonsense. Even more ridiculous old unique soldiers who sometimes even come with badly rolled stats, which is absolutely nonsensical. So yeah, these boxes are just complete bullshit. They're complete bullshit. So I won't even be a bad role model and just buy one for fun. Yeah, this is very important to know for new players. And finally, it's time for the premium squads. I made a complete detailed guide for every single German premium squad, be it worth buying or not, with all the strengths and weaknesses. I'm gonna link it in the comments below. I won't publicly release the video, so you can only see it with that link, because making that video, I noticed you need something like 40 minutes for one single nation. If you do it this way, I'd much rather just do all 4 nations in just 30 minutes together by talking only about the good stuff. So the first squad worth buying is the Moshetto. I'm ranking squads here from okay to good to very good. Very good is basically a must buy. Good is I recommend to buy it. And okay is a squad that's buyable under very special situations. For example, if you absolutely love playing one particular BR, that squad can be worth it. And this is exactly the case for the Moshetto squad. This is one of the very few rifleman squads that are actually worth buying. Why is it so? Well, first of all, rifleman squads in general in Enlisted are not worth buying, because they are mostly just very weak and significantly worse than the normal soldiers that you get. And not only that, they can't have any specialists. It's just 9 vanilla riflemen. And there's the problem that even if you get a rifleman premium squad, you still need to level up the normal Tetris squads, because they come with not only good weapons, but since riflemen are played in most squads, you really want high quality next tiered riflemen in your army. So rifleman squads as premium come with many downsides, but not this one, because it comes with some really good perks, doesn't have any stupid perk penalties, and it comes with a weapon that's actually better than what you get in a tech tree. You get a BR1 bolt action with a bayonet and with 6 rounds. This is 20% more than you usually get, and with the okay normal fire rate. This is a significantly above average weapon for BR1. So this means the squad is good for BR1. If you play BR2, it already drops, but not, yeah, it's playable, but not that good. So if you really like playing BR1 Germans, this squad is a good buy. This is definitely quite a good buy. Then we have the Beretta squad. This ranges from good to must buy, depending on what BRs you play. If you play BR1 or 2, this is basically a must buy, because it's a paratrooper squad. What's so special about paratrooper squads? They are not available for free in the tech tree. You can either buy them, usually they cost a lot, they cost something like $40, or you can get them in the events, which seem to happen every 2 years. Yes, so yeah, getting them for just 2,000 gold, which is roughly $20. It's a bit less, but roughly 20, is a very good deal. You can theoretically wait something like 4 months until the next sale, where you will get them likely with discount, because they're quite new, so they're not discounted. But if you really like playing BR1 or 2, they are worth it. They are really worth it. You can theoretically even play them on BR3, because you're going to get better weapons from the crate anyway. Since this weapon is obviously absolutely bad for BR3, but it's still good for BR1 and BR2. So yeah, this is a squad that's overall really good, so I recommend buying this one too. Then we get the Flammpanzer. Now Flammpanzer, out of all flame tanks, this is the best. Why? It's the fastest one. It's very mobile, has a low profile, and quite okay armor. Quite okay armor means you won't survive anything strong, but you're not too easily killed by a random anti-tank rifle shot or by random HMG. Well, HMGs can kill you, but not that easily. As you can see in many of my games, all a flame tank needs to do is rush into the objective and get 20 to 30 kills by just clicking on the enemies. This is how you play flame tanks. They're absolutely devastating, overpowered if you play them well. You're gonna always die, because you're gonna get 10 TNT packs thrown at you, but it doesn't matter, because this tank is so fast and deals so much damage, you just kill everything. Yeah, absolutely worth it, absolutely strong. On BR1 it's insanely strong, especially since on BR1 you will often play against Soviet wooden houses on the Moscow maps, which means you can shoot through the walls, and this is not even a bug, it's likely a feature that's gonna stay in the game. Even if there's a single opening, like a window, stuff like that, also everything dies. So yeah, this one's, if you're playing BR1, 2 or 3, absolutely strong. It's even playable on higher BRs for fun. Then we get the APC. This is a very good buy, basically a must buy. Why? It's just an overpowered APC. APCs in general are hard to kill because they don't have anything that can explode. Even if they contain ammunition, they're still hard to kill. This thing comes with additional armor. This means weakly penetrating stuff like machine guns, SMGs and so on won't kill you. HMGs can kill you, but not too reliably. And tanks will most likely penetrate through the APC, and that's it. They won't blow it up. So it's very hard to kill weakly armored APCs in the game. It's actually harder to kill this thing than to kill most tanks in the game. Then your soldiers inside are safe, since you have all of this armor. They can't be shot by enemy infantry, and you even have an MG42 mounted on top of it. It's overheating quickly, but it's still quite good. Yeah, so overall extremely strong. This is the APC that you're going to play on all BRs to have a significant advantage, and this is one of the few premium squads that give you a strict big upgrade over the tech tree version. Yeah, if some people would call it pay to win, well, it's not even, yeah, it's not giving you wins for free, but it's giving you very good advantages. So yeah, out of all squads so far, this is the overall best one, because it doesn't even get worse on other BRs. On the contrary, it gets likely even better, because on low BR, you're likely gonna see enemy anti-tank rifles and HMGs, which are some of the strongest weapons, because if you want to kill this thing, it's not about how strong you shoot at it, but how often you hit it. And an HMG is gonna blow it up in 1 or 2 seconds, because it's gonna get dozens of shots in. A big tank or a Panzerfaust or stuff like that gives you a big hit, but big hits don't matter on APCs. So yeah, it's even tankier on higher BRs than on lower BRs, making it even better there. Then we get the MP719 squad. This is the Partisan squad. This is if you like playing BR 1 or 2. Now, if you like playing BR 2, it starts with BR 2. Up into BR 3 easily. It's very good. Why? Because it's using the Soviet PPS-43, which is the best BR 2 weapon overall. It's so good, it's still one of the best weapons in BR 3. This is how overpowered this weapon is. And here the Germans get it. Yeah? And as a secondary, you can just use an MP40 or whatever, and just have a very strong squad in general. On playing this on BR 2, you get a very strong squad, even despite the small squad size. On BR 3, it's not that overpowered anymore, because people will usually come with perfect squads, but it's still good there. Yeah? And it's a good partisan squad. Only problem is the price, it's not on discount. So now I would wait and buy it the next sale when it becomes discounted, since it usually takes 2 sales until something gets discounted, and this is literally just 1 sale away. So yeah, overall worth buying. It's an okay squad, but not for the current price. Then we get an actually good squad, the TZ-45. Now this squad had 5 soldiers. Now it likely will have the 6th soldier. It has the 6th soldier. Keep in mind though, before buying, if you're not sure, if you're not 100% sure, always ask a helper in Discord, or just Google on Discord or on Reddit whether a squad gets an additional slot or not. Because there are some exceptions. Even though this squad should have one, and I'm quite sure it actually gets an additional soldier. It like for the 1% chance you don't get one, just to be sure. Now what do you get for sure is really cool uniforms. Look at these helmets. Yep, they look damn nice. Then you get a good weapon. This is a very fine weapon. It has good sights, although funny looking sights. It has a good big magazine size. It has an engineer. With the new premium squad rule, you will get an additional 6th soldier, and this is what makes the squad finally worth buying. I rated the squad in the previous sales guide during November as not worth buying, because for 5 soldiers it's literally underpowered as hell. Now, with the additional soldier slot that you can turn into an engineer or into a tank gunner, I recommend to have a 2nd engineer, because 2 engineers is basically a must if you want to quickly build stuff. It becomes actually worth playing. Now, the weapon is good. For BR 3, it's nothing too special, but it's definitely above average for BR 3. And the only downside that remains is the vitality penalty, which is absolutely unnecessary, meaning you cannot give the vitality as a perk. But still, overall, it's quite a cool looking squad. And it's like a mix of an engineer squad and a soldier squad if you use it with 2 engineers. So yeah, overall it's quite playable. I wouldn't say it's a really, really must buy, or it's not even a strong buy, but it's one of the squads that are, if you really want to buy it for fun and for the design they have, it's an okay buy. Then we get the Sniper Gewehr 41, which is basically a very cool looking sniper squad. Now what does the squad offer you? Well, here's the thing. Since sniper squads, having only 5 soldiers, don't get any squad size penalty, if you buy premium sniper squads, you basically always get a squad that's better than the normal Tech Tree version. Because here you get the same amount of soldiers, but every soldier has a sniper weapon. Whereas the normal sniper squad only contains 3 snipers, meaning only 3 snipers can have the weapon. And here you get also a significant upgrade. You get a strong, high quality, 10 round semi-auto sniper rifle on BR3. Also, of course, the universal engineer that can build everything. This is something you cannot get. So this is another example of rare cases where you get a squad, is a premium squad that's significantly better than what you can get in the tech tree, even with additional gimmicks like cool skins and a really good weapon. That is absolutely not BR3, it's actually a BR4 power level weapon. So yeah, if you like playing snipers, but even if you don't, this squad is really much worth it. Really much worth it. Then we get the MG42 early. Now this is a squad I recently got and it was also not recommendable previously. Now it became actually good. Why? This is one of the few squads where you can play 3 engineers. Yes, because this squad 100% gets an additional soldier slot. You can turn him into either an engineer or a anti-tank gunner. I recommend turning him into an engineer because this makes this squad basically a better engineer squad. Because not only are you going to have 3 engineers and 3 very strong machine gunners, you also get all of the structures as usual for premium squads, but you get one of the best weapons in the game. You get an MG42 prototype version with basically no recoil. You see, it literally has no recoil. This is absolutely insane. And it's on BR4. Making it possibly the best BR4 weapon in the whole game. So all the advantages. And if you want to play the squad on BR5, it's no problem because it's still better than what you can play as an engineer squad on BR5. It comes with perfect perks. It comes with very nice skins. And you can buy them perfectly fitting pants and helmets. So they just look perfectly nice. And you can, if you want to play it on BR5, just give them a MG42-100, the newest 100 round MG42, as a secondary weapon. And then they just completely start shredding everyone and everything. So yeah, this is a good squad. This is a good squad. It's very close to being very, very good. If you want to play this, if you like it, it's a very good buy, especially on discount. Without discount, it's very expensive, but with the discount included, it's a good convincing buy. I won't go into the bad squads, also it's not explaining why they're bad, but there are many traps. For example, the German paratroopers have a weapon that's just heavily nerfed. You get a premium weapon that's worse than every single tech tree weapon that's comparable. So the German paratroopers are, ironically enough, the only ones who are literally just a very bad squad. The only ones who are not worth buying. For those interested, I made a first version of this video where I talked about every single squad. Though this took forever, that's why I'm recording this condensed version, where you can quickly talk about every nation. If you want to view the Germans video where I rate and evaluate every single squad, I have it in the comments below. I won't upload it publicly, so you can only see it with a special link as a nice bonus feature. And then we have the shop squads. And out of these, of course, get yourself the starter pack, which is giving you a very good bonus on gold. And out of these squads, there are 2 good squads. First, the Dicker Max, because unlike all the other tanks that you can get, as you can see, not a single German tank out of all the premium stuff was worth getting. This one is actually worth getting. Why? It has the strongest cannon you can get on BR3. It looks cool, it has a funny name, meaning Fat Max, Fat Maximilian, and it is also strong. It's strong because it one-shots every single tank you will see on BR3. If you get down-tiered, your enemies are gonna cry and also not penetrate you with their weak cannons. And if you get up-tiered, it's still fine because you have access to a tank that can actually kill every single tank your enemies will bring, no matter BR3 or 4 or 5. So this is a good one. It forces you to graze on tank because everything is going to kill you, especially with the open top. And you better not be too visible from the sky because every plane is going to strafe you to death. But as long as you play this tank smart, this is a really, really good, strong boy. So yeah, this is a worth tank getting, especially with the discount. And a fancy connoisseur squad, the BF-110 desert version. What makes this squad so good? Well, for BR2 plane, as an attacker, you get a rare plane that has a nice 30mm autocannon. meaning you can shred the ground very well, you can blow up every weak tank on the ground, and you can one-shot every enemy plane. And you also get quite the good flying characteristics for a low BR plane. This is, if you like autocannons, this is a significant upgrade over everything you could get, and it's even strong enough to compete with the Stukas, mostly due to being much better to fly. And you have 4 little machine guns in the front instead of the usual 1 or 2, meaning you, even if you don't hit them with your big cannon, they're all gonna die instantly anyway. So yeah, this is, if you like playing BR1 or 2, this is a good plane for BR2. It's still viable on BR3 because if you get up tiered, you can one-shot every plane easily, though it's not too effective anymore. But if you really like playing low BR Germans, this is a nice secret squad, nice secret buying, squad worth buying. Next we have the Americans, and these don't have as many great squads as the Germans, though it makes sense since the Germans have almost squads, the most out of every nation, so it's reasonable. And we start with a nice little surprising recommendation, the Rising Squad, yes, the Medic Squad. What makes it so good? Well, first you get 1 engineer, which is something you usually do not get in your Medic Squad, so this is already a significant upgrade. And the weapon itself is quite fancy because it has no recoil. Well, it has also no magazine size either because it's only 20 bullets. But if you like headshotting your enemies, this is good. If you like playing BR1, this is a really good buy. On BR2 this already becomes barely playable, but if you like playing specifically BR1, this is one of the best squads to get, because it gives you engineer squad advantages if you're a universal engineer, and assaulter advantages in one, because you basically have 5 assaulters with your cool assaulter weapon. So yeah, this is a cool under the radar squad that's worth buying. Overall it's okay, and if you only play BR1 it's quite good. Then there are 2 similar squads. One of them is a trap, the other one not. There's the M8A1 GMC, which is basically a tank destroyer with a really good cannon for low BR. It's basically a BR3 cannon on a BR2 tank. Or BR3 cannon on a BR1 tank, more specifically said. It makes it overall a BR2 tank, but the cannon really punches well. And it comes with enough ammunition to blow everything up on the field, especially infantry too. So yeah, but it's not worth getting this one, because there's a straight upgrade, because there's also the M24, which is also a BR2 tank, which has a similar cannon, but it comes with, well, better armor, because it's not open top. And it comes with a nice HMG on top too, and a normal machine gun. So yeah, like overall this tank is better, since you are not as easily blown up. Though, well, the price is also higher. So if you don't mind playing an open top tank, and this also has a little slightly stronger cannon, this one's okay. If you want a safer way but want to spend more too, this one's okay. So they're not too great either, but if you want something hard hitting and if you like playing BR2, these 2 are quite reasonable buys. Then there's the no-brainer, the LVT-4. I even made a video about this. This is the American APC. It has insane amount of firepower with 2 HMGs and 3 little machine guns. It can even swim, though extremely slow, but still on some maps it's quite, especially in the Pacific, it's quite viable. And it's very well armored. It's basically a big metal box, and no matter how often you shoot it, it usually survives. So yeah, and while you're driving, it's not even that slow. And the best thing is, since you have so many machine guns, your bots are gonna instantly start shooting at something they see far away. So you will always be notified if there's an enemy around you, and very often the enemy will even be dead. Yeah, so this is a must buy if you play Americans. All BRs starting with BR2, this is the best thing you can get. This is even stronger than the German premium APC, because instead of having 1 normal machine gun, you get 2 heavy machine guns and 3 normal ones. So yeah, really strong thing. Then you get the FP5, which is a fancy flame plane. For those who don't know what that is, it's a plane that drops a fuel tank that explodes and creates a big basically something like 10 Molotovs or 20 Molotovs. This thing not only has that, it also has, as a fighter, great, really great flying characteristics. It has 6 heavy machine guns, and it has 4 HVAs. 4 isn't that much, but especially under the new separate release rule, yep, it still deals enough damage. And these fuel tanks can not only kill everything on a whole area, if the soldiers don't run away, because they get enough time until they start burning, making it a perfect suppression weapon. If you want to keep enemies away from an area, this is exactly what you want. You can drop it behind objectives that you want to cap, so the defenders cannot access the point. And you can drop it on open top tanks, instantly killing them. You can drop it on the rocket launcher tanks, instantly blowing them up, and many other cool tricks. So yeah, this is not only just a cool gimmick, it's actually overall a really good plane. Only downside, it starts on a carrier, so if you're playing in the Pacific, you're gonna be annoyed by having to manually take off. But besides that, it's quite a good plane. Then you get the cool Winchester Engineer Squad, and this comes with a 20 round BR4 semi-auto rifle with a bayonet. Usually you only get 10 bullets on the BR4. Here you get 20, making it already significantly better. And unlike most premium engineer squads, this squad comes with a radio man. Yes, it has the limited squad size of 5, which is bad, but you can build every structure you can think of, except for HMGs of course, and you can call artillery strikes. Now this makes it really good, because usually not being able to call out radio strikes is really annoying, but this squad doesn't have the problem. And the weapon itself is also really good. If you like, it is very precise, it's easy to control, and it has 20 bullets. So if you like playing BR4, and if you like semi-auto rifles, and if you like engineer squads, this is a really good squad. Yeah, this is a really good squad. It becomes unplayable on BR5 though, so keep that in mind, because the difference between BR4 and 5 and weapon strength is insane. So yeah, it's only really good if you like playing BR4. But if you do, this is absolutely a squad worth getting, also since the perks are quite good too. Then we get the paratroopers. Now the paratroopers are so good, I also made a video about them. Why they're good? Well, they not only look cool, not only are they quite famous, especially their leader, but they're also featuring a 100 round Thompson with very low recoil. It has basically no horizontal, only vertical, and these bad boys get +6 weapon handling, meaning you can get their, you can give them infinite recoil reduction perks. This thing is like a laser gun. Only problem is that the slow fire speed is all Thompson's, but like muzzle velocity, the fire rate is really good. But yeah, this is insanely strong. It looks cool and it's very strong, and since you're bound to BR5 anyway, you're gonna get all the high BR weapons from the crate too. Keep in mind, paratroopers have the advantage of also being theoretically every other squad, because depending on which weapons you grab from the box, you can turn them into mortars, you can turn them into snipers, and you can also have radio artillery strikes and build anti-tank guns and so on. So paratroopers are the absolutely most flexible squad in the game. And basically all you want in paratroopers is them having a good weapon. So they are also fun to play if you just use them as rushers. Also keep in mind, you don't need to paradrop. You can click on the spawn screen to spawn them on a normal rally point or APC. And with these, it's absolutely worth it, because they're basically a 6-man assaulter squad with one of the best weapons in the game. So yeah, this squad is also very much worth buying. Then we get the good old Calliope. Now Calliope is, thanks to its BR4 status, really good, because you get basically a BR3 tank, BR3 to 4 tank with insane amounts of rockets. And these rockets kill every infantry and weak tanks too. And, well, you're also quite an easy target since blowing up these rockets will kill your tank. But on BR4, as long as you even remotely, if you play remotely safely, you're going to destroy all the enemies. You're going to kill all the infantry on the ground. And as long as the enemies don't have a good countermeasure against you, you're quite well armored. So yeah, if you like just basic easy clicking and just killing dozens of enemies with your tank, with your rockets, this is worth getting. For the normal price, it's not worth getting since you'd rather just get the free jumbo from the tech tree. But well, for discount, if you want a Calliope, it's an okay buy. Like, it's not that strong. Overall, it has its weaknesses. It's quite vulnerable due to rockets, as already said. But with the discount, it becomes quite viable. And the last recommendation is the Hurricane. Well, what about the Hurricane? It's, if you be a one connoisseur once again, a very special plane because it comes with two 40mm, and these 40mm completely wreck ground targets, especially tanks and infantry and APCs. And it comes with really good flying stats, especially for BR1. And it comes with enough ammunition to, well, not only kill a bunch of tanks and infantry on the ground, but also weak planes in the air. And since you have really good flying stats, you can outmaneuver all your enemy tanks, or enemy planes. So yeah, if you like playing BR1, this is a really good buy. Really good buy. And it still becomes viable against BR2 tanks and planes and infantry. Alright, that's the last American recommendation. Yes, the 2 new squads or the 4 new squads are not really recommendable because they are just simply either not fun. Well, they're all, some of them are fun, but not all, but they're all significantly underpowered for no reason. So yeah, they're not good recommendations, but all of the old squads are still, like the squads I recommended, are still really, really good. Then, time for the Soviets. And we start with the Soviet flame tank. Yes, the Soviets also get one. This one's worse than the German for multiple reasons. A, it has only one flamethrower. It's overall a stronger one, and you also get more ammunition for that, but still, having a broader range of fire is overall more useful. It is slower and it is less armored. And it has a higher profile, so it's easier to kill. So why is it still good? Well, it's also very deadly. And it's also a BR1 tank, so on many low BR maps, it's just absolutely deadly. If you like playing BR1 or 2 Soviets, I would say it's worth it. And especially since the German anti-tank guns, anti-tank rifles aren't that good, you're much less likely to face someone using them on BR1. So the chance that you get blown up if you're quickly attacking enemies is lower than if you're playing German tank, even though the German tank is a bit more tankier. So yeah, if you like playing flame tanks, this is worth getting. It's not really good on BR3 anymore because the slow speed makes it way too vulnerable, but if you stay on BR1 and 2, this is really useful and also really fun. Then, captured MP40 on the Soviet partisans. This squad isn't as good as the German one, because the German one profits from getting the overpowered weapon that they can't usually get. This one, well, you can give your PPS 43s all your normal assaulters already anyway, or your tech tree partisans. So that's not a big advantage, but you get a cool MP40. And cool MP40 means you get the perfect long-range weapon, or mid-range SMG, which is something the Soviets usually don't have, and then you can pair it with a secondary PPS 43, giving you quite the perfect universal soldiers on all distances. Are they worth buying now? Definitely not, because they're too expensive without discounts. But once they get discounted in a couple of months, they can become viable if you really like playing partisans. So they are basically like a nice note for the future to keep in mind, because yeah, they really suffer from a way too high price. Then we get something that's finally discounted and that's really fun and also really good, and it's the SVD-30 squad. This is a radio operator squad. Yes, the first time I recommend one. Why don't we usually recommend them? Well, because radio operator squads are, yeah, like they're overall one of the weakest squad types in the game. And the only thing that makes them playable is being usually a slightly better sniper squad. But this squad comes with one of the best weapons you can get. For BR2 you get a semi-auto sniper rifle. It has bad accuracy and only 5 bullets, but it's still better than anything you get on BR2. And you get 1 engineer, and you get, of course, 4 radio men. If the squad had 2 engineers and 3 radio men, or even better, 3 engineers and 2 radio men, I would absolutely recommend it. It would be one of the best squads in the game. With only 1 engineer, yeah, it's slow, and if he dies, you're fucked. But still, this squad can call all types of artillery, since it's literally a rocket artillery squad. And it has one of the coolest and also strongest and most fun weapons on BR2. And it, since it has a universal engineer, also gets to do engineering duties, meaning you're very flexible. You don't necessarily need to play engineer squads anymore, because you have this squad. So yeah, this is overall a good buy. If you like playing BR3, if you like playing BR2, absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it. And also very fun to play too. And you can give them a secondary weapon, either a normal bolt action. Well, you have to give them a normal bolt action. You can't give them a sniper weapon, sadly. But still, I'm playing them with a Winchester as a secondary, meaning on short range, I just Winchester away everything. And on longer ranges, the scope takes care of all the enemies. So yeah, this is overall a good buy. Then we get the Soviet Soviet APC, which is ironically enough a Lend-Leased American half-track. Everything that's true for the German APC is true here. It has less armor, but it comes with a heavy machine gun, which is, by the way, really good in APC battles, because yes, they happen. And in APC battles, for example, the American one defeats the German one, because the German one can't penetrate it, but the American one can. This Soviet one also defeats the German one, because once again, it has a American HMG. Yeah, so this is just overall really good and basically a must-buy if you play Soviets on any BR. Then, for all the BR2 fans, we get finally a proper tank destroyer that's very much worth buying. Why? It gets an insanely strong cannon. Whereas the 2 American ones I talked about get a okay upgrade. They get a weapon that's very strong for BR2, but it's just normal for BR3. This one gets actually a good BR3 weapon, meaning it's way above what you usually get on BR2, meaning you one-shot every BR2 tank, and you one-shot almost every BR3 tank too. This means no matter what the enemies are playing, you have no problems whatsoever. You're gonna destroy them. And you have quite a low profile, a nice frontal plate, and also enough armor to sustain a few hits. If you're staying far enough away, you keep in mind you have to be far away because you're open top, so every infanterist will instantly destroy your tanker crew. But as long as you're camping well, everything's fine. It's basically the Soviet Dicker Max equivalent, because it has a very strong cannon for its BR. If you get up-tiered, you still are in a very good shape, but you have to stay away from the action because you're too fragile. And you also get 4 tankers, which is something the Americans, for example, didn't get with all of their tanks. So yeah, having 4 tankers means if you lose one, you're still reloading at normal speed. Whereas tanks with just 3 tankers, if you lose 1 tanker, you're gonna instantly get your stupid reload penalty, making you extremely slow. So yeah, this is overall a good buy. I also got that one instantly because I like playing BR2 Soviets, and this tank is a pure fun engine on BR2 Soviets. Then another good buy, a BR4 plane this time. Why? It's another gimmick plane, meaning you get a cool cannon. A 37mm cannon that shreds everything, including tanks from the top. And most German tanks are very weak on the top. So this is good. You get a heavy cannon. You get 4 heavy machine guns. Obviously a Land-Lease plane. And you get superb flying characteristics. Very fast, very good climb rate, and really good turn rate. Overall, this is a really good BR4 plane. It's even good on BR5. Yeah, so if you like flying, if you like playing planes, this is damn good. This is damn good. You can kill everything in the air and everything on the ground. Only downside is it's expensive. So you really want to get it on sale and not normally. As usual, the planes in Enlisted are very expensive, very overpriced, even more expensive than tanks. so now on sale, if you like playing BR4 or 5, is a good moment. Then, Yak 9. If you like playing historically accurate Soviets, you basically have to play BR3, because this is where all the KV-1s and T-34s are. And if you want to get a good plane on top of those, you might be interested in the Yak 9. I also got that one myself. Sadly, though, never played it in a real game because I prefer BR2 over BR3 due to the maps. Though it might change in the future, once Stalingrad becomes rarer, I will instantly start playing BR3 more often. And then this plane is a pure menace because it's fast, good climb rate, good turn rate for BR3. It has a heavy machine gun to kill everything quickly, and it has one 45mm autocannon. This means you absolutely one-shot your German targets. Also, by the way, as you can see, after years of demanding, we finally start higher in the air, making the practice mode much more useful. You can see we killed our Panther A with our BR3 plane without any effort. And this is how easy it is. Yeah, this is how easy it is to kill German tanks. Now let's try another one. And we killed a King Tiger. What the hell? Yeah, this thing is insane. You see how fun it is? I'm not even sitting properly to aim well, but yeah, like, this plane is insane. Like, if you like sniping tanks from the sky, this is the absolute, it's a must-have. Yeah, it's a must-have, and it's not even bugged, because most planes are bugged with their autocannons against tanks. This one isn't. Yeah, so very good plane, very fun plane, insanely expensive, sadly, but I also got that one on sale, so yeah, for 2,500 gold, it's actually buyable. Next we have the SKT-40. This is the Soviet equivalent to the German Ghost Sniper Squad, though this one comes with a slightly better weapon. It also has cool skins. It's not as cool as the German one, but yeah, whatever. But most importantly, they get a better weapon. Why? Because unlike the German semi-auto sniper rifle, the Soviets, as historically accurate, had significantly superior semi-auto sniper rifles compared to the Germans. And this one, if you look, it basically has no recoil. Like the German one I constantly had to correct, but this one is literally a headshot machine on no matter how fast you shoot. So yeah, really good thing. If you like sniping, especially semi-auto sniping, this is the real deal. Absolutely good squad. Everything that was true for the German squad is true here too. It's basically an illegal weapon that you can't have on BR3, so yeah, really good squad, really worth buying for those who like this type of gameplay. Then we get the Fedorov MG. This is a complicated squad, but it's a good squad. Though only due to the recent update for having a 6th soldier. What makes it so good? Well, it's a machine gun that only has 25 bullets. Isn't that bad? Well, this is secretly an overpowered engineer squad. And if you play it this way, you will be very happy. Because if you give it a 3rd engineer, you literally have an engineer squad. with insane firepower. And the trick with the Fedorov MG is you don't view it as a machine gun. It's literally basically the Fedorov assault rifle, but with much less recoil. You see, it's much easier to control. It's much easier to control, and unlike the normal Fedorov, you can give this to basically every soldier in your squad, whereas the normal Fedorov is limited to assaulters. So yeah, this is absolutely strong, and it even has higher damage than the normal Fedorov. Absolutely, or maybe it has the same damage. Let's actually check. Let's actually check. Where's the Fedorov? Oh yeah, it has the same damage, but still, it's definitely better than what you usually would get. So yeah, if you want an overpowered machine, basically engineer squad, especially since engineers are usually unplayable on high BR, this is exactly what you want to go for. The Fedorov MG squad, a secret buy. Yeah, a really good squad, also quite cool and fancy, also with their overall style. And then, compared to this, by the way, there is well, pure machine gunner squad, the belt-fed DP squad, though this one forces you into BR5, and on BR5 you get, well, much better machine guns than this one, because the fire rate is just insanely bad. And this squad, unlike the Fedorov machine gunner squad, doesn't come with 2 starter engineers. So even if you give it a second engineer, you can't really view it as an engineer squad. It's basically just a normal machine gunner squad. But yeah, compared to the tech tree machine gunners, this is a bad machine gunner squad. So this is basically not worth buying. Also, they look like they stole Billie Eilish's jumpsuits, which doesn't make it playable either. And then there's the last Soviet recommendation, and this time make sure you don't slip. AS44 4, AS44 5. What's the difference? This one is a bad assaulter squad. This one is a very good paratrooper squad, actually the best in the game. Why? Because not only does it come with a very good weapon, it allows you to even switch the weapon, which other paratrooper squads don't allow. Yes, that's called Soviet bias, because only the Soviets have this, even on their event paratrooper squad. And it, well, you can switch the weapon and give them, for example, I think you can even give them the Fedorov, but even if you don't, it's just a paratrooper squad with all the paratrooper squad advantages with a strong weapon. Unlike the German one that comes with a bad weapon, or unlike the BR1 version that forces you to constantly carry the bad weapon. This is, if you like playing BR5, basically a must-buy because it's just very strong. Yeah, very strong. I'm playing it too, and I can just recommend it. It's just very good for BR5. Though keep in mind it's only playable on BR5, not lower, which is the usual problem of all high BR squads. So you really want to see which BRs you're playing often to make sure that the squads that you're buying will actually be played often enough. And then finally we get the Japanese. Yes, the Soviets don't have anything worth buying here. Sadly, still not the rocket launcher tank, because these rockets literally cannot kill any tanks. You can shoot straight at a tank 1 meter in front of you. Nope, nothing happens. These rockets are ridiculously bad, and guess what? Even killing infantry is hard because you barely have enough rockets, and these rockets are insanely imprecise. So yeah, I'm waiting since over 1 year for this squad to become good, but sadly nope, it just remains as bad as usual. Also stuff like the KV-2 is just very bad, and you even get one for free in the tech tree that no one plays. Now what about the Japanese? Well, the Emperor blesses us with a few cool things, starting out with a medic squad that's actually playable. Once again, as for all medic squads, only playable on BR1. BR2 upwards, you basically can't play medics because the squad is too small and too weak, and you can just play soldiers instead. But this medic squad actually comes with 1 engineer. Yes, so it's also like an engineer squad with all its structures, and it comes with quite the good weapon. It's literally upsides everywhere. Yes, this is how nice the Emperor is to us. He gives us a really good squad, and one of the few good low BR overall medic premium squads that are worth playing. Then you get the APC, which, unlike other nations, doesn't cost you real money. You can buy it with gold. Yep. So that's basically the cheapest out of all, the least expensive one. It doesn't come with heavy machine guns, but it comes with 3 normal machine guns. They are low magazine size though, only 20 bullets, but still, since you have 3 and 1 on each side, your bots are gonna start shooting at everything in the distance, giving you a nice detection system around the whole map. And also it's tanky, it's quite fast, and has cool camo. So yeah, this is basically also a must buy, especially on discount thanks to its very low price. Next, we have just 2 squads remaining, because since the Japanese are the smallest nation, having the smallest tech tree and also the least amount of squads, there's simply not that much that's good. One of the few good ones, also one of the oldest ones, it literally came with the Japanese nation itself, is the Japanese fuel bomber. And this one's really good, because the Japanese are in a severe lag for good planes, ironically enough, since in real life they were specialized on planes. What makes this good? A, good speed, very good climb rate, and one of the absolutely best turn rates in the whole game, making it insanely maneuverable, especially if you like being an acrobat in the sky. Then you get your tank, and you get 2 little bombs. The American get 4 HVARs, which is better than 2 bombs, but you get 2 autocannons with enough ammunition and 2 little machine guns too. So you're much stronger in the sky than the American plane, and you can also easily outmaneuver and outplay and also outgun every American plane in the sky on BR3, and especially if you get down tiered lower. So yeah, if you like flying, this is really good. This is really good. Also starts on a carrier though, which is the only downside, but well, the other downside is it's quite expensive. Since, yeah, 5,000, basically $50 is insanely overpriced. But if you like using planes like these on discount, this is actually quite useful. And then the last recommendation for the video, and for the Japanese especially, the paratroopers. Now, everything is true as for other nations. These, though, have 2 additional advantages. A, they're BR4 and not BR5, although they are using a BR5 weapon. Now this is a nice buff. And they have a weapon shield, and this weapon shield protects from, I think, 20 damage, and once it absorbed 20 damage it falls off, and then you literally just have a normal BR5 weapon, which is overpowered as hell. Yes, so yes, this is literally pay to win. though yeah, it's fair, because the Japanese really need it. They are very weak. If you like to play the new Burma map and you play Japanese, this squad will give you a really good power boost that the Emperor's Chosen really deserve. Alright, that's it. Now you know about all the squads in the game that are really worth buying. Every squad I didn't mention is either very bad or simply not worth buying, because you get better squads as premium squads, or you get simply oftentimes just better tech tree squads. Now sometimes I recommended squads, as was said, they are okay but not really good. Yeah, these squads are squads on the borderline squads, borderline playable, borderline buyable, but most squads, if you really understand the game well, and if you especially really understand everything available, are simply not worth buying. Which is, by the way, absolutely normal. This game has something like 100 premium squads or whatever, or premium content. It makes sense that most of them, at least half of them, are not really good, because not every squad can be overpowered. If all of them were good, the game would actually be pay to win, because you would need so many really good squads that the normal tech tree would just be too weak. So it is to be expected that most squads on sale here or available in Enlisted are simply not good squads. which makes it bad obviously for beginners, especially since a new player absolutely cannot know that the German paratroopers are absolutely bad and all the others are really good. That's why I made this guide for you, so you don't have to waste your money on bad buys, and instead only get the stuff that's really good for you and that will make you very happy playing. Alright? Let me know what you think, and if you're new, of course, subscribe and drop a like and share this with your enlisted friends, so they also don't waste money on nonsense and only get the good stuff, because there's more than enough good stuff. And since no one's gonna buy for like $1,000 and most often just buys for something like $50 or $100, yep, it's really useful knowing which squads are really good and worth getting. I'm also gonna get some stuff. I'm absolutely gonna get additional squad slots because I've been waiting for that since like half of a year. And then I'm gonna get, I think, some of the squads that I didn't get. I got a lot of them last sale 2 months ago, so there's not much I want to get. And also half of the squads I bought weren't that good. So I learned from that and made sure I don't recommend the bad squads. So yeah, enjoy your games and I'll soon. Goodbye.